Okay, here's a tutorial for configuration 2 of that wheel. Now this looks pretty intense, but if you follow along it won't take long at all. We're going to do what's called a circular pattern. So we're just going to make one of these openings, and then we're going to basically pattern it around the entire circle. So you got tangent points between this arc and this circle, okay? And then down here it says that all fillets are 10 millimeters. Okay? And this is a detail view, so it's just a zoom in. They took a circle. That's a detail view. If you take circle A, they've blown it up so you can actually see that these fillets are tangent with that outer ring. Right? So I'm picking up where I left off from configuration 1. Make sure that this is what you get for mass, 116.196.83. So that you know that you have configuration 1 complete. So the next thing you're going to do is save this as wheel config 1, because you want a part file per question, right? So that one's locked away, but it's also the starting point of our next drawing. So I'm immediately going to save as 2, so I don't overwrite configuration 1. Configuration 1 is saved and in the vault. Alright, so what I'm going to do is go to the front plane, and actually no, check this out. I'm just going to go to sketch, and I'm going to make a new sketch. It's basically going to be parallel to the front plane, but you have all these options of planes. I'm going to go onto this lower portion of the wheel, and then I'm going to turn that thing toward me. So my origin's in the middle. I'm going to make a center line that's vertical. Where's my little mark? Looking for that little yellow. There it is. Right? And then I'm going to make another center line. At an angle. Now don't let it snap to anything, or right? Just put it in there at an angle. It's arbitrary, they call that. There's no specified piece. Because what we're going to do next is we're going to make those two lines 20 degrees apart from each other. Okay? Because that's what it shows here. 20 degrees. Right? Now I'm using construction lines or center lines. They're kind of used synonymously. Right? The next thing I'm going to do is I don't have this ring or this ring on here, but I want this arc in here. So what I want to do, just to show you, if I turn off my eyeball, the only lines I have on this sketch are these two guys. I don't get these. I have to tell it to give it to me, and that's called convert the entities. So if I hit convert entities and I click on that ring or circle and that circle, it's going to bring those two circles, convert entities, it's going to bring those two circles onto my sketch. Right? Because ultimately what I want left over, I just want that arc and that arc. And then I'm going to close, I'm just going to trace right over top the solid line. And for some reason I got lazy there and I didn't get that to snap. I'm going to click those two together. And that's the shape I'm looking for right there. Ooh, I forgot my fillets. Let's put those fillets in. They're all at 10 millimeters. If I just click on the corner, fillet, fillet, right? That is my shape or my closed contour that I've been looking for. If I just turn the eyeball on and off here, right? So that is the opening that I need. Now I want 12 of those. So instead of trying to measure off angles and putting 12 in and taking 360 divided by 12 and 30 degrees here and there, right? We're going to just go over to circular sketch pattern. And this is going to ask for the center point, which is going to default here. Okay, equals spacing, which means we want them all equally spaced. 360 degrees, this means it's going to be all the way around. You could do 90 and try to fit 12 in there. I don't think it'd fit. And then it defaults at instances of 4. Okay, so what an instance is, when I come down here to entities to pattern, if I click on here, notice it put a total of 4 instances, right? And I could click those lines individually, but it's easier if you just click in the middle, and it selected all of them. So now as I move this up, that's what 5, just think of like a wheel, right? You can have a lot of different, we're up to 12 instances. So it's going to copy that shape. You're going to have 12 pieces to that, right? And then the next step would be to extrude cut that. And instead of going blind, just go through all. And what that's going to do is it's going to cut all the way through. And now you got your, looks like some cool wheels for a cool car. Right, same material. Evaluate, mass properties. You should get a 68685.18. And if you don't, first of all, make sure your configuration 1 is correct. I think that was 196.83. Right, I just remember that because I've been doing this quite a bit. But just make sure that the mass on the first one is correct, and then, you know, on the next one, make, you know, whenever you have a problem that doesn't match up, check for blue lines first. Look for things that are not defined. Make sure your 20 degrees is from the center point of the origin, placed on those center lines. Maybe your fillets are off, or maybe you didn't click all 3, or maybe you didn't copy the entire piece. But those are maybe some common problems. But that is the circular sketch pattern, and good luck.